Alright, so today I'm back with another Blue Lock leak video, and today we will go over chapter 289, which once again isn't the longest, but in this chapter we still see Yukimiya going wild on the pitch and also awakening a new power-up. But we also see that Ness completely fumbles the bag, which leaves both Kaiser and Isagi annoyed at him, but I don't want to say too much, so you will just have to sit back and watch to find out what happens. Anyway, before jumping into it, please leave a like and a comment, as well as join the Discord server down in the comments. With that out of the way, let's get into it. So before diving headfirst into the leaks, let me just clarify that this week we have another short chapter with only 12 pages to go over, which definitely is an improvement from the week before where we got 8 pages. Just wanted to say it before so you know why the content isn't as packed as it usually is. Also, if you want to check out the leaks for yourself, then I will put a link down in the comments where you can look at them. Anyway, now that I have clarified that, let's go over what we have for this week. So for chapter 289, we get right back into the fierce match against Bastard Munchen and PXG, as we see Yukimiya, who's still in control of the ball and is running and dribbling like crazy on the pitch. Behind Yukimiya, we have Isagi, who looks at him and says that Crisis is good, and that what he wanted in the field now isn't a pawn granting stability, but an unexpected piece bringing change. We then get a close-up panel of Isagi, where we see him looking fired up while saying that Yukimiya is a selfish genius too, and by adapting to him, Isagi's own talents will also accelerate. But right after that, we get back to Yukimiya, who I'm not going to lie, but I'm starting to enjoy him quite a bit. However, he looks locked in and asks Isagi if he really thinks that he would let him adapt. And this is just why I've started to enjoy Yukimiya and invested in him. It is because after that, he pulls out some of the craziest roulette dribbles I have ever seen, as the defenders only can see him for a quick second before he disappears behind them. He locks his eyes on the goalkeeper, and then we get a panel with his own eyes, and I don't want to be that guy, as obviously I'm unable to show the panels right now, but I'm pretty certain that Yukimiya has developed predator eyes, which would make him the second after Baru to awaken them if I haven't forgotten anyone. Anyway, with Yukimiya unlocking predator eyes, that gives him so many more opportunities, as he also thinks that he will be the one to beat Isagi, even if it means hurting himself in the process, saying that this is the way that Isagi showed him to use his ego. And then right away he actually just sends away a shot towards the goal, like the madman that he is. And we also hear a defender from PXG commenting on Yukimiya's madness to shoot from such a tight spot. Zantetsu tried to go over and cover the direction of the shot, but Yukimiya managed to just get it above his foot. However, someone else comes in and ruins the party for our street dribbler, and it's of course none other than Charles, who just coldly says, "Nah." After that, we switch panels and see Charles, who's jumped up into the air to block Yukimiya's shot with his left leg. He looks like a demon, as he's taken some notes off Rin, and also has his tongue out, while telling Yukimiya that he can't win here, and that his shot is too one-track. Now Yukimiya just smiles, annoyed, but says that Charles really is a useful brat. After Charles blocks the ball, it actually soars up in the air, and we see that the goat Isagi is keeping his eyes glued on it. He says that it's a 50-50 loose ball, and that he was waiting for Yukimiya to create this chance. We get a close-up on his face and see tons of puzzle pieces around him as he says that he can reach it. He wonders if he should try a direct shot, but then looks towards the goal and realizes that it's still 35 meters away and that it's too far for him. But then, at the same time, dribbling would be a bad move. The ball is slowly coming closer down, and he looks left to right in desperation to find out what to do before he says that the best thing would be a direct pass from none other than Ness, who we haven't seen in a super long time now. Hey, it's Natsu, mid-editing here, and I just wanted to pause the video to ask you to subscribe if you haven't already, and while you're already down there, why not leave a like as well? The ball went to Isagi, but he passed it to Ness right away, and Ness looks super confused as he can't understand why he got the pass. But Isagi right away locks in as he enters God mode again, and begins to rush high up on the field as fast as he can, while telling Ness to give it to him and for Ness to become a piece for his victory. But we see a small panel of Ness, who's still just confused and unsure on what to do here. But out of nowhere, instead of passing, Ness begins to do some dribbles and Isagi looks at this in total shock. Ness then says Kaiser and Kaiser over and over again before he starts to locate him on the field. However, as he spots him, we see that he is cornered by both Rin and Shidu, leaving him little to no move to roam around in. Ness still looks over to him, but that's when we see a crow come closer, and it's of course Karasu who thanks Ness for slowing down the ball. And then we really see what he means as Karasu comes in and slide tackles the ball away. This shocks Ness, but Karasu, who looks extremely cool, just tells Ness that it was a horrible choice and calls Ness a puppy. Now I know that I can't show this panel right now, But let me tell you that you are in for a treat. As Karasu is slide tackling him, he looks so cold, as well as the feathers around him, which add so much vibe to the whole thing. And also this is kind of hard to explain, but it's actually a crow who's taken away the ball in this panel. Obviously, it's not a real crow, but it's illustrated as one, as it's Karasu. The panel around Ness gets dark as he can't even get out full words, as he's just as shocked by what happened. Nanas and Zantetsu come to congratulate Karasu on his play, as they celebrate by helping him up. We also see both Kaiser and Isagi, who both look super angry at Ness. Isagi also states that Ness is unusable now. Now we also have Yukimiya on the side who's looking at everything and thinks that Ness is too fixated on what he wants to believe in, saying that he's now left behind by the environment and society. He continues and says that it's like he's looking at himself from before, but unlike himself, Ness's ego isn't connected to anyone, telling him to change his perception, and that right now on this field, people who don't follow the speed of evolution brought by Isagi and Kaiser will get left behind. But after that, we get to the final panel, and this is where the most insane things happen. As Ness turns into stone as he hears Kaiser's voice behind him, he turns around and sees Kaiser looking super angry as he straight up tells Ness that he should give up on football already, and he looks so menacing when saying it as well. Isagi also turns around and says that it's a death game of natural selection, and we then just see Ness, who I can't even describe what he looks like. He looks like an ice cream that is about to melt and starts to drip down. I know that it sounds weird, but I legit didn't know how else to put it. Anyway, with that, the text then says that a death sentence given by Kaiser for Ness. Foreign elements cannot survive on the battlefield of ultra-fast evolution. Also, the next chapter will be called Pig, which is a bit crazy to call something, but it also really makes me wonder what that chapter will be about. Also, I have some really sad news, as there's another break next week. Now trust me, I know that this sucks so much, and I'm always waiting for the next chapter extremely excited. However, the authors are taking breaks for a reason, so we just have to accept it. I have seen a lot of people being mad over the amount of breaks we have gotten, but please try and not blame the authors. They are working as hard as they can, and they deserve a break here and there. Anyway, with that said, let's dive deep into this chapter, as it was pretty insane, and there's stuff we need to talk about. Now firstly, Yukimiya having predator eyes is massive for his character development, as it finally gives him the boost that he definitely needed. Now he still didn't score, but I feel like the author is starting to bring Yukimiya in as much as he can and give him a bigger role. Now I feel like Ness fumbled so insanely much. I know that he desperately wants to make up things with Kaiser, but this isn't the way to do things, as I even feel like Kaiser was disappointed that Ness didn't pass Isagi, as they had agreed that the one who was in the most logical position would get the last goal, and as Kaiser told Ness to straight up give up on football, I really don't see them being on good footing again, and I feel like the only way Ness can still be a relevant character is if he tries to ally himself with someone else, or maybe even awaken his own ego to play for himself. But with both Isagi and Kaiser being kind of pissed off at him, it's going to be tough. Now I don't necessarily have anything against Ness, as I feel like he's a good character, and I also enjoy his backstory with magic, but there has to be something else. Anyway, we are ending it off with Isagi and Kaiser looking super fired up and cold, and with the next chapter being called Pig, I can't even begin to try and speculate what it will be about, which is why I would love to hear what you think the next chapter will be about. If you like Blue Lock and videos like this, then I would highly suggest you subscribe to this channel, and while you are at it, leave a comment and a like, as it helps out with the algorithm a ton. And if you're curious to see another video of mine, then please watch the video that will be popping up on the screen now. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.